Are we still doing the chest?
No, we're done with the chest.
Subdiaphragm.
Oh.
She makes her heart black too, like hey.
Oh, you broke. I didn't know what you were doing. Oh, jeez. I try out open these and then.
Okay, the inferior vena cava is to the right of the aorta, because it's draining into the right side of the heart. It is formed by the union of two common iliac veins. And goes up and drains into the right atrium. As you can see from this schematic over here, we have the same vessels that we had for the arteries. So we're going to have renal veins and adrenal veins and gastric veins and so on, but they don't all drain directly into the inferior vena cava because we have a portal system. Remember the term portal system that we use with
What's happening outside?
I don't know, what is it?
Like a clown came or something.
Oh, okay, so it's birthday. So we have the portal system. Remember why we had a portal system in the pituitary and hypothalamic component?
Easier to pick up and drop.
So that we could have two capillary beds without returning to the heart in between. So in the first capillary bed, we picked up releasing factors. And then instead of having to go all the way to the heart, we went to the pituitary, anterior pituitary gland and had another capillary bed in which we could give up those releasing factors without having to go to the heart in between. So we have a similar venous portal system here where we have the veins from the small intestine, superior mesenteric vein, inferior mesenteric vein where we're absorbing vitamin K and water. Most of our water comes from the large intestine. From the stomach and the spleen, all of those veins that are traveling with the arteries by the same name, instead of going directly back into the inferior vena cava, come together to form a common portal vein, and all of those nutrients are taken directly and first to the liver. The liver is the largest gland in the body, of the body other than the skin, but within the body. It does a lot of metabolic activity. So when we absorb those amino acids and carbs, before they go to elsewhere in the body, they go to the liver first. The liver takes out what it needs, and then all that blood then will go into the inferior vena cava. So we're bypassing the inferior vena cava first. Get all this blood to the portal, to the liver system. So we're going to do that in a moment, but let's look at the vessels that drain directly into the inferior vena cava. All right? So we have the inferior vena cava formed by the common iliac veins, as I diagrammed over there on the board. It's going to receive posteriorly the lumbar veins. So lumbar veins will go both into the inferior vena cava as well as into that vein that was going to become a zygous or hemiazygous. It receives one of the gonadal veins. So the right gonadal vein, either testicular or ovarian, will drain directly into the inferior vena cava. The other gonadal vein is going to drain, instead of the inferior vena cava, it's going to drain into the kidney. So we have renal veins will drain into the inferior vena cava. And then the left gonadal will drain into the renal. Why? I don't know. So you can happens in both men and women. Looking for a different color to draw the.
What color?
Oh, I don't care. It's just something that's not black or purple.
I have green,
Okay.
but it's a little one.
So I'm going to put the adrenal glands on here.
I love
And
it.
the adrenal glands, Jeff and I have an argument about this. You can see that there are renal veins that drain directly into the inferior vena cava and renal veins that drain directly into the renal vein. But in the literature, they don't call them inferior or middle or superior adrenals. They're just called adrenal veins. So I will bow to his research. So any of the adrenal veins we'll just call adrenal veins. It'll make it easier for you.
Are suprarenal and adrenal just
Suprarenal,
synonyms?
yeah. Suprarenal just means superior to the
Yeah.
renal. Adrenal means next to.
So either of those is
So
fine.
either
in
term
your
is
case.
fine. I will accept either. So you'll notice that I don't have any inferior mesenteric vein draining into the inferior vena cava. And that's because it doesn't. There is one present. You would see it with the inferior mesenteric artery, but it would then gradually leave it and go up higher because it's going up to the liver. Right? We would also have our inferior phrenic veins coming from the diaphragm. And then coming from the liver, after all the other organs have sent their blood through the liver, the blood will finally leave the liver and empty into the inferior vena cava as hepatic veins. So hepatic veins will also drain into the inferior vena cava from the liver itself. So other than the left gonadal, these are all the veins that drain directly into inferior vena cava. So you will probably have a question or two that says, all the following veins except drain directly into the inferior vena cava. Or which of the following veins drain directly into the inferior vena cava? And they are the ones that, other than the left gonadal, they are the ones that are our digestive organs and the spleen. So we'll leave that on the board, and let's look at the portal system. So here with the organs in place, and I actually like this one better because it takes out the inferior vena cava. So here is inferior mesenteric coming from the descending colon. Here is superior mesenteric coming from the small intestine and the ascending colon. There's your superior mesenteric vein, your splenic vein, and your gastric veins. At the organ, these would be found. You would have splenic artery right side by side with that. Right side by side with this one, you would have inferior mesenteric artery and superior mesenteric artery here. Gastric artery along here. But instead of going separately into the inferior vena cava, they come together and form the portal vein. So I'm going to diagram that separately over here. I could superimpose it on that, but it would make it difficult to follow. So coming from the small intestine and from the ascending colon and transverse colon, we have the superior mesenteric vein. would be this one right here. Coming from the spleen, we have the splenic vein. And it is those two veins that join together to form the portal vein.